Fluency isn't really about knowing the most words, right? I mean, it's actually about knowing how to manage your own panic.
Oh, absolutely. That is the core of it.
Yeah. So I want you to picture this scenario. You're standing in this, really bustling, crowded coffee shop. The espresso machine is hissing in the background. They're playing that indie music just like a little too loudly. And there's this line of heavily caffeinated, visibly impatient people right behind you.
Sounds terrifying already.
Right. And you've studied English. You know the vocabulary. You've been basically rehearsing the sentence in your head since you walked through the door.
Yep.
But suddenly the barista looks right at you, the spotlight is on, and it's your turn to speak. And your brain, it just it throws up a 404 error, just completely short circuits, loading.
It's the universal psychological stress test, honestly.
Yeah.
We tend to think of, ordering coffee as this mundane morning errand. But from a cognitive perspective, it is a highly volatile environment.
Yeah.
It's that terrifying blank space where all your hard-earned vocabulary just used to live.
Yeah. Okay, let's unpack this because that is exactly what we are diving into today. Welcome to our deep dive on the mechanics of real-world communication under pressure.
Glad to be here.
We're looking at this super practical language lesson on how to order coffee in English and using it as our ultimate case study today. And our mission here is to really extract the absolute best nuggets from this source material. We want to show you how mastering just like a few simple, polite formulas can completely eliminate that cafe anxiety.
Which is so needed, right? Because this isn't just about coffee.
No, not at all. It feels like there is so much more going on here than just learning the English word for milk.
Totally. It's really a masterclass in navigating fast-paced, real-world communication. I mean, what we're really examining is how human beings process language when they're subjected to these immediate compounding environmental stressors.
Yeah.
And how we can use rigid linguistic structures to essentially hack our own nervous systems.
Hack our nervous systems. I love that. So let's start right there with the psychology of that cafe freeze. Because the material points out that the environment itself is the actual trigger here.
Right, the environment is key.
Everything happens so fast, the cashier is firing off these rapid-fire questions, and you have this immense pressure from the queue of people behind you.
Oh, the pressure of the line is real.
It's so real. It honestly feels less like a language problem to me. It's more like being on a high-speed game show where the ticking clock makes you forget your own name, and the only prize is like caffeine.
That is a perfect analogy.
But I do want to push back slightly here. I mean, is it really just a language barrier? Because I've frozen in coffee shops in my native language. Is it just the sheer panic of rapid-fire decision-making that gets us?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the source actually offers a profound relief for this exact panic. It addresses that decision fatigue directly.
Okay, how so?
The core message is actually super counterintuitive. You do not need perfect English. You really don't. You only need a few simple, rehearsed sentences to feel completely relaxed.
So just taking the decision-making out of it entirely?
Exactly. You remove the variable.
Since the freeze is caused by pressure, the solution is having this foolproof, friendly formula ready to go before you even reach the counter.
Right. Before you even step up.
So let's look at that core formula because it's really about politeness over perfection. The basic cashier greeting is usually something like, "Hi, what can I get for you today?"
Standard, yeah.
And the solution provided in the lesson is to say, "I'd like a latte, please," or "Can I have a cappuccino, please?"
Yep.
Which seems basic, but the source points out a really common mistake here. People panic and just say, "Coffee," or "I want coffee."
Oh, yeah. I want coffee. We hear that all the time.
And it's understandable, right? You just want to get it over with.
It is, but it sounds way too short or, a bit abrupt.
Almost demanding.
Exactly. The subtle difference between I want and I'd like completely changes the entire social dynamic of the interaction.
Yeah, "I want" puts the barista in this weird subservient position, but "I'd like" is a polite request.
Right. And then there's the power of the word please. The source emphasizes that adding please makes your English sound so much warmer and more polite.
It's like a magic word. And these formulas, they aren't just for coffee, right? I mean, you can swap in tea, juice, hot chocolate, whatever.
Totally modular. You just plug in the noun you need.
Okay, so you successfully initiate the order. You say, "I'd like a latte, please." But then you trigger the cashier's follow-up script.
The dreaded interrogation phase.
This is where the panic really sets in. Navigating the barista interrogation, the sizes, the temperatures, the milks. Let's break down how to handle this without just, fleeing the store.
It's a lot of variables at once.
It really is. So first, sizes. Small, medium, large. But the source notes that a lot of places use their own weird jargon like tall, grande,
The
venti.
proprietary sizes always trip people up.
Yeah, but the advice here is great. It says, do not worry about it. If you're unsure, you just politely ask, which one is medium? Or what sizes do you have?
Which is so empowering. You don't have to play their vocabulary game.
Exactly, you just opt out. Then there's temperature. You just say hot, please. Or iced, please.
Simple as that.
And milk choices.
Mm-hmm.
Whole, low-fat oat, soy, almond. If you don't care, you can literally just say, regular milk is fine.
Right. Or for extras, sugar or whipped cream, you just go with yes, please, or no, thank you, or just one sugar, please.
I feel like this phase is basically a tennis match. You just have to easily volley back these really short answers to keep the game moving. Iced, please. Boom. Oat milk, please. Boom.
That's a great way to look at it. You're just returning the serve.
And here's where it gets really interesting. This vocabulary is just so modular and plug and play. You don't need to invent full sentences on the fly.
No, not at all. And that's what saves your working memory from crashing again.
But even with a great formula, misunderstandings are going to happen.
Inevitably, yeah.
Which brings us to the comedy of errors and how to actually recover when things go off script. The lesson has these brilliant mini quizzes that prove this point perfectly.
I love those quizzes. They are so revealing.
They're hilarious. So the number one mistake to avoid when the cashier says something you don't understand
Is staying silent?
Yes, do not just stand there in silence if you don't understand them. They talk so fast.
It's the freeze response in action.
Right. And the fix is to just use a repair phrase. Sorry, could you repeat that? Or, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Which is totally acceptable and polite.
Yeah, and if the menu is just way too complex, like it's just a wall of artisanal syrups, don't be embarrassed. Just ask, what do you recommend? Or, what's your most popular drink? Or even, what's in this?
It takes all the pressure off you.
It really does. But we have to talk about these funny, incorrect quiz answers from the source because they highlight exactly what not to say when you panic.
Let's hear them.
Okay, so if the cashier asks what size you want, the incorrect options you should not say are coffee, yes, or drink big, maybe.
Drink big, maybe. That is incredible.
Right. It's like your brain just regresses to caveman speak. You just jettison all grammar for survival.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, though,
Yeah.
it really highlights something important.
What's that?
Fluency isn't about knowing every single word on a complex menu. It's really about having the social tools to politely navigate not knowing.
Navigating not knowing. That's good.
Yeah, being able to say, sorry, I didn't catch that, instead of panicking and saying, drink big maybe, is the true mark of conversational competence.
Oh, absolutely. And it gets better. If the cashier is speaking too fast, the quiz says do not say no English or my personal favorite, go slower machine.
Go slower, machine.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, you're just calling the barista a machine. You've completely lost all empathy in the panic.
It's a complete breakdown of the social contract. Totally. Okay, so let's say you survived the interrogation. You didn't call anyone a machine. Now you have to stick the landing. You have to pay and leave.
Final hurdle.
Right, because you don't want a last-second freeze here. The source gives a few great logistics phrases, like if you're ordering for a friend, you can just say, I'd like 2 cappuccinos, please, or can I have 1 latte and 1 hot chocolate?
Very clean, very simple.
And then the payment question. They say cash or card. You just volley back card, please, or cash.
Yep.
And then for here or to go, and you say to go, please, or for here. And just to highlight one last funny quiz answer here, the incorrect option for taking it to go was drink walking or coffee outside, yes.
Drink walking. I mean, it is highly descriptive.
It's accurate,
Okay.
but maybe not standard English.
Not quite, no.
So if we look at the full real-world dialogue example the source provides, it shows how this all cascades together perfectly.
It really flows when you put the pieces together.
Yeah, it goes something like a large iced latte with oat milk, vanilla syrup, a chocolate cookie to go, paid by card for $10.50.
And you notice the rhythm there.
I do, actually. It seems like saying please acts as a rhythm keeper in this rapid back and forth.
Exactly.
Feels like it buys your brain, just an extra millisecond to process the next step of the transaction.
That's a great point. It regulates the tempo. It keeps both of you in this polite, predictable dance.
But having the script, having the steps to the dance is completely useless if you don't have the courage to actually use it in the wild. Which brings us to the philosophy of fluency.
Yes, the most important part, application.
The source unpacks this ultimate secret to pulling this off, and it's so simple. Practice precedes confidence.
Practice comes first. Always.
It says, do not wait until you are in the cafe. You have to practice at home, in front of a mirror, or even just while you're walking.
Which dismantles this huge myth, I think.
The myth of the naturally confident speaker.
Precisely. We see people speaking fluently and assume they are just fearless.
Yeah.
But they aren't fearless. They just have really well-rehearsed routines.
They've done the reps.
They've done the reps. Confidence doesn't magically appear so you can speak. The confidence actually follows the physical practice of speaking out loud.
Right. It's like building muscle memory for your mouth so you don't have to think about the words when the pressure is on.
Exactly. You bypass the panic entirely.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Well, it means you don't need perfect English to thrive in a cafe. You really don't.
You just need a strategy.
Yeah, you just need the courage to speak one short, polite sentence at a time. So we really encourage you to take this advice. Practice these phrases out loud this week. Talk to your bathroom mirror. Order a phantom latte in your living room.
It makes a massive difference. And, I want to leave you with a final thought on this, something that really builds on that core philosophy.
Oh, what's that?
Think about this. If practicing a few simple, modular scripts can completely eliminate your fear of ordering coffee, what other stressful, high-pressure areas of your life are just waiting to be conquered by a practiced script?
Oh, wow. That is a really great question.
Right. I mean, think about networking events, job interviews, or even just really difficult conversations with a friend or colleague.
Yeah.
We often think we have to just wing it and be naturally charismatic, but maybe you just need a personalized, rehearsed script for the first 30 seconds to bypass that initial panic.
I love that so much. The coffee shop is basically just the training ground for the rest of your life.
Precisely.
Well, thank you all for joining us on this deep dive. Go build those scripts and practice them out loud.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just be polite.
Yep. Have a great week, everyone. And seriously, do not tell anyone to go slower, machine. Take care.